Hey everybody, welcome back to the Court of Random Opinion. My name is Lauren Neidigh. We had a couple of updates in the Justin Baldoni versus Blake Lively case, including an apparent subpoena that's been served on Blake Lively by Justin Baldoni's team for all messages related to this issue. Last night, we also went over in full. Leslie Sloan, Blake Lively's publicist, filed a motion to compel answers from Justin Baldoni and Wayfarer. First, we have this article from the Daily Mail. Justin Baldoni ramps up pressure against Blake Lively with subpoena demanding all the telltale texts and emails. Now, take note, this is how you serve a subpoena. Most of you who have been watching my channel know that I have mixed feelings about the Daily Mail. Sometimes they have some stuff that seems pretty reliable, whereas other times I've been critical because I know that there have been anonymous sources who have spoken to them, and behind the scenes, their statements have been somewhat mischaracterized or exaggerated. However, what I really failed to pay attention to in that regard was that these are individual writers, and not every one of them is doing something wrong, so maybe I should chill on harping on the Daily Mail. I think in the future I'm going to be more mindful of that. Anyways, per the Daily Mail, embattled Blake Lively's legal woes have taken a turn for the worse. She has now been subpoenaed by Justin Baldoni's team. DailyMail.com has learned the papers were handed to her lawyers last week and asked for all communications, including texts and emails related to Baldoni in the film that sparked the feud It Ends With Us. Daily Mail also mentions here how Taylor Swift, Hugh Jackman, Travis Kelce are all coming into the mix here. As you guys know, Travis Kelce unfollowed Ryan Reynolds on Instagram earlier this week, which sparked headlines. Daily Mail also writes, superstar singer Swift is reportedly furious over being dragged into the case and has not been photographed with Lively for months. Last night, Blake Lively's publicist Leslie Sloan filed a motion to compel Justin Baldoni to answer her interrogatories. According to Sloan, the parties conferred in good faith but were unable to reach a resolution. After 4 months of dissembling and issuing vague and inconsistent statements through their attorneys, the Wayfarer parties have yet to identify the basis for their claims against the Sloan parties, including but not limited to 1. The statements they claim defamed them or put them in a false light, 2. When or how these statements occurred, and 3. To whom those statements were made. Because Ms. Sloan denies ever referring to Baldoni as a sexual predator or accusing him of sexual assault, she is unable to meaningfully defend herself without knowing what the Wayfarer parties accuse her of saying, and to whom. If, as it appears, the Wayfarer parties have no Rule 11 basis for their claims, they should be forced to make that admission in discovery now rather than hide behind boilerplate objections to clearly appropriate discovery requests. Simply put, the Sloan parties need a basic roadmap of the claims against them to prepare their defense and target discovery appropriately, and a response to interrogatory numbers 4, 5, and 7 is the most efficient means of conveying that information. They also wrote here, if, as the Sloan parties suspect, the Wayfarer parties' representations to the court and the press were lies, and they have no additional evidence against the Sloan parties, they should simply admit as much. Jesus. A lot of the interrogatory questions, it's like I can understand where she's coming from, but then some of this just seems strange to me as a layperson, like request for production number 33, all documents upon which you intend to rely to support your case and affirmative defenses. I don't know how normal this is in a civil case, so we'll have to wait and see what the lawyers say about that. Some of these made me cringe for obvious reasons, like request for production number 25, all documents and communications concerning Baldoni discussing his porn addiction with Lively. First of all, I feel that whatever they're getting at here is going to be largely taken out of context as it has been so far. Second, as I said in the live stream last night, I'm not a fan of shaming people for overcoming their addictions. An addiction takes a lot of hard work and strength to overcome. And I feel the same way here that I would feel about somebody who overcame their drug addiction and has been in prolonged recovery. That's not something that should be used as a weapon. We can't sit here and be like, well, we care about people. We want people to get better. We want to give people treatment, and then use those same issues to cut them down when it's convenient. I see in too many comments, too many people who are saying that he's somehow a disgusting person for this, but being brave enough to open up and talk about what you were dealing with and how you got through it, that's not disgusting to me. Because if you can't do that, if people discourage that, then anyone else struggling with the same thing who has the opportunity to be better and to do better, those people may just feel even more shame, continue to fall into their addiction behind the scenes, and never reach their full potential. You never know who in your life might be struggling with some kind of addiction. So when people say someone is unqualified because they used to be addicted to drugs, or they're an alcoholic, or whatever addiction, if somebody's genuinely done the work and they're in a prolonged recovery, I don't think that's really a reason to say they're not qualified for anything. Unless they did something devastating and tragic and accidentally killed or hurt someone, in which case I cannot help you. Sorry. But I think you guys know what I'm getting at. We can't just selectively support people getting over their addictions. Because what if you have a loved one that's going through an addiction or who has overcome their addiction and they hear you talking about someone else with the same problem like they're some kind of psycho freak? How do you think that's going to make them feel? So when I read that, I just got that looming feeling of, oh God, we're not done with this yet, are we? All right, guys, that's about it for now. I'll keep an eye out for more news and I'll update you if there are any more documents that come out today. See you all soon.